All right, today we are staging the ultimate AI deathmatch. In one corner, you've got a $10,000 beast of a local machine, and in the other, a super nimble $10 a month cloud service. The challenge is simple: build a complex web app from scratch. Let's see who comes out on top. So, that's the big question we're trying to answer here. And it's not just about who's faster, we're talking quality, functionality, and who can actually deliver a project that's ready to go right out of the box. The stakes are pretty high, and we're about to crown a winner. And just look at the stakes here. On one side, a massive one-time investment in hardware. On the other, what you'd spend on a couple of coffees a month. I mean, the price difference is absolutely staggering. But is the performance difference going to be just as big? Let's find out. Okay, so it's time to properly meet the fighters in this coding showdown. First up, we've got the heavyweight champion of local hardware. And then we'll introduce the lightning-fast intelligence coming straight from the cloud. Now, this is not your average computer. We are talking about a $10,000 Mac Studio with a jaw-dropping 512 gigabytes of RAM, and it's running a massive 480 billion parameter model. You can think of those parameters kind of like the neurons in an AI's brain, and this one has a ton. Now, the trade-off is pretty clear. You get total, absolute privacy for your code, but this thing is slow, and it literally heats up the room. This is pretty much as good as it gets for local AI right now. And in the other corner, we have the Abacus AI Deep Agent. For just $10 a month, you get access to what's essentially infinite computing power from some massive data center. It's incredibly fast, but, and this is the big one, you have to send your data to a third party. So it creates that classic dilemma: speed versus privacy. So, how are we going to test these two powerhouses? Well, we're not going to use a simple Hello World program, that's for sure. Nope. For this, we need a real torture test, something to push them to their absolute limits. And here it is. The challenge is to build an entire luxury travel website from just one single detailed prompt. And we're not talking about a static page. This thing needs multiple components, all the styling, and even back-end logic to make a contact form actually work. You know, smaller models, they just choke on tasks this complex. They start making up libraries or forgetting to close brackets. It's the perfect challenge. All right, the prompt is in, the agents are activated. Let's see how our two contenders get started. The digital gloves are officially off. And right out of the gate, the local monster just goes into overdrive. The Mac Studio's GPUs are immediately pegged at 100%. You can just feel the raw, brute force power being thrown at this problem. That $10,000 of hardware is definitely not sitting idle. But here's where it gets really interesting. Instead of just diving in, the Cloud Brain actually takes a second to think. It asks clarifying questions like, hey, should I build out the full detail pages? And where should I send the contact form emails? See, this isn't just a language model. It's an agent with a multi-step plan. It's a much more strategic approach. And yikes, almost immediately, the local monster runs into some pretty serious problems. It can't even find the Node.js installation. That's the basic environment you need to run and test a web app. And even worse, it starts generating completely invalid JSON for critical configuration files. These are major project-breaking errors right from the get-go. So while all that's going on with the local machine, the user of the Cloud Brain is just, well, waiting. All the heavy lifting, the code generation, even creating these beautiful custom images for the site, it's all happening seamlessly behind the scenes. It's the ultimate thumb-twiddling time. So, after all that work, all the fan noise, and fixing all those buggy files, the local monster finally finishes its initial code dump. And the total time? A lengthy 29 minutes just to get its first draft. All right, the code has been generated, the dust has settled. Now it is time to look at the final products and see if we have a clear winner in this epic showdown. So, after 29 minutes and a bunch of manual fixes just to get it running, here's what the local monster gave us. Okay, the navigation kinda works, but there are no images, the responsive design for mobile is a total mess, and that contact form, completely broken. It's, a start, but it's nowhere near a finished product. Okay, now let's switch over to the Cloud Brain's creation. And wow, it's a completely different story. This is a beautiful, fully interactive site with custom images and smooth animations. The mobile version looks flawless, and that contact form? It actually works. It sends a real email confirmation. This thing is basically ready to deploy. I mean, the scorecard here really paints a clear picture. The time, the quality, the functionality, the errors. In every single way, the Cloud Brain just delivered a much, much better result. It really shows you the gap between these two approaches today. It is night and day. So the verdict is in, and it's a knockout. The Cloud Brain is the decisive winner of this coding challenge. For now, it seems, the cloud is king. So what does this all mean? Is local AI completely useless? No, not at all. It's really about understanding the right tool for the right job, especially with how fast this AI landscape is changing. Look, here's the crucial takeaway. Local AI gives you amazing privacy and control, but it comes with that huge upfront cost and a lot of manual work to get something finished. Cloud AI, on the other hand, is all about speed and completeness, delivering these ready-to-go results for a pretty low monthly fee. You know, the person who actually ran this experiment said it best. The results really do speak for themselves. When your goal is to get a complete project that's ready for the real world, the cloud-based agent was the clear winner here. And that leaves us with one final, fascinating question. The Cloud won today. It offers a level of polish and completeness that local models just can't match yet. But with hardware getting more powerful and these models getting more efficient every single month, you have to wonder, when will the local monster finally get its rematch?